Hello, this is Monty. Doing my typical 5-mile walk. I'm walking alongside this particular street, but as long as I get my 5 or 6 mile walk in, I'm fine. I'm trying to take advantage of this audio podcast whenever I remember. I've been forgetting to use this program that I'm paying for, so this application is pretty much going to waste like my money if I don't use it every once in a while. So we're going to think of something to podcast about, obviously. I guess we're going to talk about one of my favorite topics is going to be the direction or the fate of the US dollar, okay? Now you may ask, how could there be an issue with the US dollar considering it has the full backing or the full faith and credit of the US government? The U.S. government, they got guns and tanks and enforcement capability, right? They can force you to use that money. People don't have a choice, right? Well, believe it or not, we're starting to see a rapid erosion. Excuse the noise. A very rapid erosion of the U.S. dollar's backing. See, once upon a time, the dollar had the backing of gold, right? And then through, I think Nixon, in addition to Roosevelt with the Bretton Woods agreement, and then I think Roosevelt also made sure that we got away from gold backing. So between both of those guys, those two guys, we like threw that away. We couldn't account for we couldn't count on that any longer as far as anything backing the dollar. Now, as you guys saw yourself, the oil is collapsing pretty much, and that the reason why we have something called the petrodollar. You may want to go to my website and search on petrodollar and take a look at what happened there. As of a week ago, the oil prices went negative. Okay, and see, believe it or not, the dollar is priced, or oil is priced in US dollars. So when that oil is sold, those guys get dollars, the Saudi Arabians, and a lot of those guys. So that money typically is recirculated back into the United States, and they get to buy treasuries and all that, so they get to control, a pretty good sizable amount of what happens in our treasury markets by virtue of the recycling of those dollars. Anyway, to make a long story short, we lost that backing. The pegging of those two together has pretty much fallen apart. The oil and backing up the U.S. dollar, so the term petrodollar doesn't make a whole lot of sense when you lose your final pegging or backing. Okay, so you lost oil, you lost gold. Now the dollar is just like floundering out there with nothing to sort of back it up or to price it against. So unless we resort to tulips and beanie babies, there is absolutely nothing. Basically, your government is based upon your full faith in a currency with no backing. So basically, you're going to sleep at night doing everyday activities, your shopping, your investing, your retirement, when you go to work and all that. All that is basically contingent upon you having faith that there's actually something there. Well, believe it or not, that something there is no longer there. So you guys are gambling. You're speculating just as if someone was in Las Vegas hoping and praying to hit a blackjack or something at our craps table or whatever. So make sure you understand that the fate of the dollar is going to be pretty much similar to what's going on in Lebanon. There's a currency crisis going on in Lebanon, and the people are burning banks, in addition to people in Venezuela, Zimbabwe. There's a number of other countries where they've completely lost faith Argentina, I think also, and the dollar, okay, and their currencies. So what happens is you get a total disruption of society. And you guys just make sure you understand why you're hunkering down behind closed doors and all that the system is collapsing around you. And I just want you to be aware of it. Now, I don't like to present a problem without coming up with some sort of solution. So just keep in mind that people like myself, we Bitcoin fanatics and cryptocurrency fanatics, we do have a bias. We like cryptocurrencies. We like the Bitcoins and the altcoins, the Ethereums, the Litecoins, and all those guys. And you can determine what makes you happy. Okay, this is something that I like. Again, I have a bias towards those alternative investments, but you guys can find out what's suitable for you. What are you comfortable with? Marijuana stocks, or putting your money under the blanket? Bury your money in the backyard. Go get a safe and put it in there. But just remember, when the countries like Lebanon, Argentina, Venezuela, Zimbabwe, when they go through these crises, even in Japan, I think for a long, long time, that money became so worthless, and negative interest rates were so pervasive, and stimulus being pumped into the economies like Germany and China and Japan, that the erosion of the currency became so prevalent, a lot of that money tried to flee the country. And see, when the governments really get scared, guess what they do? They start to impose currency controls. They determine how much money you can get out of the country. In other words, you work all day and night for your hard-earned money, which you well deserve because it's your money, right? But when it's falling apart, losing its value at a rapid rate, guess what happens? They tell you, I'm sorry, you can't withdraw and send that money anywhere. You have to abide by our guidelines. If we tell you it's $200 a month or $400 a month or whatever it is that you can take out of the bank and do whatever you want to do with it, that's what you have to go along with. So just make sure you understand, if you invest your money in any alternative, whether it's Bitcoin, again, I'm biased towards Bitcoin. When you put your money into something, make sure you have complete control. And those of us in the Bitcoin space, the cryptocurrency space, that's what we like. We like complete control. We can take our money, and that's where we get this term called BYOB, or be your own bank. Just remember that, BYOB, like boy, Yankee, Oscar, boy. That for us, that means be your own bank, as compared to bring your own booze or something. But anyway, that's what we like, because we can control our money. We can put it on a hard wallet. We can put it on a paper wallet. We can do what we call use a passphrase that we remember because it's something notable, and it's put into our memory. Something that you're definitely going to remember if you trust your memory. But otherwise, you use a hardware wallet or something like that. But anyway, the point is, control your money, control your fate, determine your future, okay? Because we've been trying to warn you guys for a long, long time. Now, it's becoming more and more obvious. Negative oil prices, low interest rates going into negative interest rates, which could happen this week. Stimulus money propping up the stock market. Insider selling of stocks. When insiders dump stocks, that's a problem. Political insiders, your favorite politicians, and they're Democrats and Republicans, when they start dumping those stocks, and while at the same time telling you everything's fine, your antenna should go up, okay? So don't say I didn't warn you, all right? So be prepared. You determine your own fate. Get your responsibility is in your hands, right? So I'm just dropping a few hints as to what's going on out there in the world, the examples, the solutions, and you consider what avenue you want to take. If you want to go to my website, Go there and take a look at the articles. Lots of information. Just punch in whatever topic you're interested in, whether it's something to do with Lebanon, something to do with Venezuela, Argentina, China, Japan, stimulus money, negative interest rates, whatever topic you can think of. Go there, start a conversation with your family and friends and relatives and associates, and try to get an idea of what you're up against. Because being in food banks, waiting at the mailbox for stimulus checks, being scared to death that Corona Bologna is the problem, when in actuality, Corona Bologna is the pin that burst the everything bubble. Everything was in a bubble. Real estate, stocks, you name it. There wasn't a commodity or an investment or an asset class that wasn't affected by the artificial, fake monopoly money that's been printed out. You guys all seen the memes on the internet. The memes talk about Burr for money printing. The money printer goes Burr. That's been going around like crazy. You seen it, I've seen it, everybody's seen it. So pay attention to that stuff. They're trying to send you a message. Anyway, I'm wrapping up my 6-mile walk or something. I'm going to relax and eat some dinner. And I'll put this podcast on my website somewhere. Usually it's available on my Facebook page also. I'll see if I can put a link in the podcast so when you listen to the podcast, you can click on the link or something and get further information on what we're talking about. But wake up out there, okay? We'll talk to you later. Bye.